It happened long ago. Long for you humans anyway, with your brief lifetimes. Millions of years in your past. The Queen of Orion had a son. The son's name was Enki. His task was to acquisition the resources of your planet Earth. The Orions sought food sources and also gold. The gold was required to replenish the atmosphere of their planet.
Well, I had heard of the reptilians desiring gold. I just assumed the females had expensive jewellery tastes. And considering they are 300 feet tall, that would be a lot of gold for a jewellery-loving individual. What had happened to the atmosphere of the reptilian homeworld, and why were they depleted in their food supplies?
At least you didn't suggest a foolish theory for the food shortages. I was half expecting it. The Orions had been engaged in a 10,000-year war with the Syrians, and it has resulted in the destruction of their homeworld, decimation of the food supplies, and the atmosphere has been compromised that only gold can correct. So the Orions have been searching the universe for alternative resources, and the Earth was a prime location.
That puts the Earth's 100-year war into perspective. Why has it taken so long? Are the Orions very slow at drawing up battle plans? Or is it that the armour and spaceships take so very long to make? I mean, 300-foot tall lizards would need very large spaceships and exceptionally big armour.
War takes the time that it will. If two species are equally adept, then their respective effectiveness nullifies each other. But from a reptilian's perspective, as we live thousands of years, it isn't as long as it might seem compared to you Earth people and your minuscule spans of existence. The Orions do regard humans as little more than bugs, to be used, eradicated, or even eaten, an unfortunate frame of mind stemming from the great disparity in size between the species. Like that fly you are at this very moment swatting at, the Orions would swat at a human with the same disregard.
Well, be fair, it was threatening to land in my glass of milk. Never compromise a cat's milk glass. I'm sure wars have been started over less. Imagine a 10,000-year war that stemmed from the spilling of a glass of milk. And it did land on my nose, nearly making me sneeze and ruining the show. Anyway, about the Queen's violation of free will, let's get into that some.
Well, when you ever stop babbling about nonsensical, inconsequential subjects of absurdity, I shall proceed. The law of creation, which prohibits the tampering of the DNA of a species, was violated by the Queen's son, Enki, who did exactly this. At the time, the most intelligent creatures on the planet were a variety of monkey, and they became the subject of the genetic manipulation and the species the humans would become. Enki also discovered in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley a ready supply of white powdered gold, an essential element for the restoration of the atmosphere for the homeworld.
So they found what they had been seeking, the gold. And don't worry, I won't persist in my babblings, but I must tell you this joke that sprung into my feline cranium. Why did the reptilian cross the road? Because it had eaten the chicken that had preceded it, and had been the star of all those chicken crossing the road jokes. Now we're stuck with reptilian crossing the road gags, until we find another chicken.
You're still mistaking me for a species that delights in humour, mindless anecdotes, and foolish stories that involve chickens crossing roads. I have never appreciated frivolity, although I might find a source of amusement in swinging you around by your tail and releasing you at the most inopportune, for you anyway, moment.